Hey guys, what's going on? Harmless killing fun, real CS. I just want to talk about the patch notes that came out a couple of days ago, and really it didn't. It's actually an old list, but obviously it surfaced again, and a lot of the things that are on it weren't implemented in the last patch, so people are probably thinking that this is the way that the next patch is going to be. And I'm just really wondering about whether this pertains more to a close quarters situation or whether it goes with the armored kill slash other maps. Because I'm pretty sure close quarters is a different setup altogether. That's probably why in the premium bonus content they didn't really have a guy talking about it or Alan Kurtz talking about it, about the actual new DLC coming up. They just showed you a trailer, an extended trailer, and that was pretty much it. And I think the reason why they did that was because you know how to play Rush, you know how to play all that stuff, and these are just new maps to go along with the old styles. Whereas Close Quarters is a new style. The dynamics were obviously a little bit different. They had to tone down things and adjust things because it's so close quarters. So that seems to make the most sense to me. A lot of the things that are on this list, I'm not going to go through them because most of them are pointless to read, and some of it's kind of weird and lost in translation. So, but I think this is more geared towards this quote-unquote patch. I don't know whether it's ever going to happen, but it's more geared towards infantry, and I'm trying to figure out whether or not, this could be all in my head, but if anybody has ever thought of this, just let me know, leave a comment. Is all of these patches starting to go with what, not necessarily what's good for the game, but more or less, how do I put this? Like, well, one, I think it's for commentators, because I notice that a lot of commentators don't drive vehicles. They're mainly on the ground. They're mainly in a controlled situation where they have the control. So, obviously they're going to get like a 20 kill streak if you stand in the same place, or you keep an area. Pretty much anybody can do that if you really want to, as long as your aim isn't too bad. It's just when you do that kind of stuff, then it makes it look good and epic, and it obviously gives you more hits and stuff because people, they want to see the killing. It's all about the killing to a lot of people, and some people it's not. It's more of a strategic game. Obviously standing in a corner is some sort of strategy too. Like, if you're standing in a corner in Metro and guys are coming around the corner and they don't see you, then obviously, yeah, okay, I could call that a strategy because they didn't know that you were there. And okay, that's fine, but really that's more of a boring approach, and I'm not really about that, so I don't do that kind of stuff. So my 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 outlook on the game, I feel, is much different than a lot of other commentators. But also the people that bitch a lot for these things are people who are mainly ground people, people that are always talking about the AEK and the F2000, the AN94, the AK-74, all these guns. They're all the main guns of the game. The people use them the most. So when this says reduced reload time of the SCAR-L, the AEK, the F2000, the AN94, the AK-74, the PP2000, the GA3A, SKS, MG36, JNG90, MK3A1, SCAR-H, the list goes on, but this entire list is all the guns that people mostly use. So obviously, if it's a more widely used gun, then more people are going to bitch about it. It's like a building, a lot of buildings are run down and full of violence, and you may think that they're full of violence, but when in compared to the landmass, there's actually, how many people living in that, one area of land. They all have to share that place, as compared to somebody that lives on a suburb street where it only has 20 houses. You see what I'm saying? Maybe I'm just rambling too much, but that's pretty much the best analogy that I can give you. It really, I don't think it's worse just because more people say it. I think it is what it is, and the people that are the professionals and the people that do know how to play this game and make this game. I know not all the all the people that are making this game are all professional players, elite players and stuff. A lot of them are just programmers and stuff, but a lot of them can play. And if they bring in some people, or if they have people on their team that determine that, yeah, this is good, they shouldn't really ask too much from the community, because when you ask too much from the community, you usually get too much. And all these patches, like the first patch was the 18-page patch, I was perfectly fine with the game being the way it was. There was a couple of things wrong with it, but come on. Like, the game wasn't that bad when it first came out. People were like, it's broken, blah, 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 blah. And by coming with an 18-page patch, you pretty much say that it was a failed game. And I've said this before. And it kind of makes me sick that they would actually, kind of, sell themselves short. And it sucks. And I've said that before, and it pisses me off when I have to read this crap. And pretty much everything on this list goes with infantry. And I don't understand why they need to do a few little tweaks and stuff. I'm not going to talk about them because I don't care. Like, if it happens, if all these little tweaks and big tweaks, and if there's a patch or there's not a patch, it doesn't really matter. I'm still going to play the game. We're going to obviously have to, reassess the situation, and maybe this doesn't work as well and that works better and blah, 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 blah. But, you just kind of, you conform to what's going on, and you deal with it and you go on. And if anybody is understanding, and the reason why I sound so, kind of irritated at this, is because this is mainly for people that stay on the ground. And it's Battlefield. Like, FYI, people, it's Battlefield. And Battlefield is all about the vehicles. And, obviously the infantry is an aspect too, because this is a game that has everything in one. But if any sort of patch is going to come out, I hope it's not exactly like this one, because if it's supposed to be a patch and you're coming out with it days before or days after or the day of Armored Kill, it seems kind of weird that you're not doing anything really with things that pertain to vehicles. And I'm not saying that there isn't anything on here that pertains to vehicles, but the majority of it is. Increase the accuracy of the RPG to differentiate it from the distance of the schma. So that pretty much says that, the schma goes a little bit longer, a little bit farther, and the RPG probably has a little bit more, punch when it hits there, but it doesn't have the range, and now they're gonna try to, balance them a little bit more. And I also heard that they were possibly going to put it where you can use an RPG on both sides. It's like, why don't you just balance the fucking guns rather than make a small little patch that just, here you go, you can use both of them, that way we don't have to deal with this anymore. That's kind of weird. And I know why they did that, and it's because people bitch about it. Why can't I use this gun? If I can use this gun on this side, then why can't I use this gun? And they should just say, well, because that's not the way we designed the game. You go out and you buy a game, and the game is, you've seen a trailer, you may have seen a review, whatever. You base it on the opinion that you get from what you see. You don't base it on after, and you talk to them about all this crap after, and, change your game. I like your game, and I want to play your game, but change your game. And it doesn't make any sense. Like, who did that back in the day? I don't know how long you guys have been playing games, but I've been playing games for over a decade. First-person shooters for over a decade. So I've been through a whole bunch of different transitions, and one of the transitions is people bitching and people getting what they want. And before, it was a game, you got it, and you liked it or you didn't like it. And obviously there's enough people that still enjoy the crap out of this game because the game is still going strong. tons and tons of servers are constantly full, and my server is constantly full. You know, Tuscany man, my boy, his server is doing great. So obviously people are still around. They still want those servers and stuff. They still want lots and lots of servers. DICE brought out some more servers and stuff, so I don't know whether people are going to use it. I think they're max 200%. Most people are so geared towards more endurance matches. I don't know how you could possibly play a 100% nowadays. I played a couple of them and they're literally 6 minutes long. You don't even get into a groove and it's already over. So I don't know why they would bring those out, and it makes absolutely no sense, but at the same time, whatever. At least they brought something out. At least they brought more servers out, because that's what people were crying about. And I don't need to look for DICE servers. I can go into pretty much any server and deal with whatever comes at me, good or bad. You know, if I have bad games, everybody has bad games. But you know, it's like when people ask you to respect their servers and you don't respect them. You know, you didn't have to go in there and disrespect them. You could have went to one of the 1,000 servers that say no rules. And you know, just because people put rules there, it doesn't mean that, you know, they're bitches or whatever. It just means that they want it played a certain way, and they find that there's a better groove in that. Like mine, the only rule that we've ever put on any server is no C4s on and claymores on the flags. And the reason why is because people look at the map. I've done it. I've literally went out and for 30 seconds, pretty much 30 seconds or 45 seconds, I put out claymores at one, or C4 at one flag. I looked in the corner. I waited in the corner. I watched for the flag. I didn't even look at the flag. I just watched for it on my map. I waited for it to neutralize. I almost let it go almost up to the top, you know, where it's almost about to be there, so that like almost about to be taken, so that way these guys, you know, all get a chance to get around that flag to get those extra points, and then you pull the trigger. And I got 14 guys in under a minute. Now, if you can tell me how I got 14 guys in under a minute, and that's not some sort of cheapness, you know, like, yeah, okay, you can do it. Yeah, it says it in the book that you can do it, the close quarter strategy. But I think it's a pretty lousy strategy. And anybody who, you know, disagrees with me, that's fine. There's tons of other servers out there. But, you know, you don't have to disrespect people's servers just to get what you want. Just because nobody's C4ing in there, you're like, oh, nobody's competition. I can go in here and C4 all I want. And yeah, my admins aren't always on. Everybody's admins aren't always on. So there are times where you get what you want. You get to spam the crap out of the guy's server, and that's pretty much it. The guy comes home and he gets 25 emails of, oh, there's this guy, can you please kick this guy, he's doing this thing, blah 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 blah. And trust me, we play hard. We don't like kicking anybody for any sort of reason except for like things that we find extremely cheap. You know, our conquest servers, we don't have rules. I've been rammed by jets. You know how many streaks I've been on, and I get rammed by a jet because the guy can't get me out of the air. And some of my friends, they asked me, should we ban for that? And I was like, no, we shouldn't. I got used to it, and everybody else is going to have to get used to it. You know what I mean? You get used to things like that. That stuff happens. We have it on Wake Island right now. The Japanese patented the suicide jets and stuff like that. So, you know, there we go. We're on Japan soil, or, you know, Japan occupied place. Yeah, we're the US, and yeah, we're the RU, but you know what I mean? So, I hope you guys understand what I mean. I don't have to explain it anymore. But I don't know. I just want some answers as to where this stuff is going. Like, this is crazy. Like, I love the game, and I don't really want it to change if it's going to change for the worst. I'm probably going to play it either way, like in either situation, but, you know, this kind of sucks. And sorry if I ranted too much, but I don't know. I think that's coming up on 15 minutes, so I'll let you guys go. And I just thought I'd let you guys know, leave a quick thing in the description. Check out Battlelog. There are clouds in the sky. There's a video, and honestly, you guys should check it out. But real CS out. Take it easy, guys.